Yes, Miguel, the cable is back. That's what happened. I did a video, doing my video, and the cable went out. And there is a little glitch that happens occasionally, and sometimes I have to go and reboot. So that's what happened, and it usually happens in the middle of the night when I do my live stream in the daytime. Doesn't really have a problem, but at night, especially when I'm off at night, I'm usually at work. So when I'm off at night, I have these issues. It's not the first time it's happened. So, oh well. So everybody, welcome to another edition of the Willy Bragg Show. Hopefully we'll have no tech issues again, or cable issues rather. So anyway, I am back, and we're going to talk about the presidential election in 2024. And to sum it up, what I was saying previously, and I hope I won't sound like a broken record, so I'm going to just break it down as quickly as I can, is that after the Bernie movement in 2016 and 2020, I was really depressed, and I had it in me that maybe I should never vote again because I feel like I don't have a voice when it comes to the ballot box. It's like, well, what's the use? I mean, Emma Goldman said if voting could change anything, they would make it illegal. And sometimes I think there's a lot of truth to that. And they pretty much, I hate the two-party system. I just hate it. It's the reason why we can't have nice things. It's the reason why we have a lot of crap going on. And unfortunately, I understand why people who are either in the Democratic Party fighting the good fight, or people who are part-time Democrats who are independent. I sort of used to be the inside-outside guy myself. I'm just exclusively outside now. I'm no longer even a part-time Democrat. I understand the yearning for Robert Kennedy Jr. and Marianne Williamson, but I'm just not going to do that. And I will give y'all my reasons why I will not support Marianne Williamson or Robert Kennedy. And it has more to do with, well, they're just Democrats. I mean, it has more to do with that. It's policy base. And anyway, but for the year 2024, I figure that I do have a voice. And even prior to June the 5th, when the news came out, I said, well, in the year 2024, I will either not vote, or if whomever the Green Party candidate is or something, I may vote for that person. But I have a definite person I think I'm going to vote for, and I'll tell you why as soon as I put up this video, and y'all probably know who I am talking about. So let's go ahead and play that video, and I will give you my insight on that for what it's worth. So here we go. Take it away, Dr. Cornel West.
In these bleak times, I have decided to run for truth and justice, which takes the form of running for president of the United States as a candidate for the People's Party. I enter into quest for truth. I enter into quest for justice. And the presidency is just one vehicle to pursue that truth and justice, what I've been trying to do all of my life. I come from a tradition where I care about you. I care about the quality of your life. I care about whether you have access to a job with a living wage, decent housing, women having control over their bodies, health care for all, de-escalating the destruction of the planet, the destruction of American democracy. Democracy creates disruption. It creates an eruption. It creates an interruption. Why? From below, the energies of everyday people is manifest. And I know there are precious people in your life who you care for. That's why it's important for you to be involved, important for you to participate. We're not talking about hating anybody. We're talking about loving. We're talking about affirming. We're talking about empowering those who have been pushed to the margins, because neither political party wants to tell the truth about Wall Street, about Ukraine, about the Pentagon, about big tech. Neo-fascists like Brother Trump or milquetoast neoliberals like Brother Biden. Wow, well, I'm so happy to make a world-shaking decision. You know what I mean? No gangsters when I see you. And gangster's not a subjective expression, it's an objective condition. Do we have what it takes? We shall see. But some of us are going to go down fighting, go down swinging with style and a smile, accenting the best in you and trying to tease out the best in me. Let's do it together.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, and I will put down all the appropriate information on Cornel West and everything on the description box below. Description box is empty right now, but it will not be empty when after this video is over and all of that. It'll take me about 10-15 minutes, but anyway. About Cornel West, I'll give you a bit of a background on him. And I think my audience knows who Cornel West is. It's kind of weird that I would say that, but suffice to say, I will go ahead and tell you a little bit about him. He was born on June the 2nd, 1953. Happy belated birthday, Dr. West. He was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he's best known for his book, Race Matters, in 1993. He was a lifelong Democrat, but on the left-wing side of the Democratic Party. And now he's with the People's Party. He was with the People's Party for the last several years, but he's declaring his candidacy with the People's Party, which I am on the fence about the People's Party, because the People's Party basically was created and tailor-made for Bernie Sanders in the year 2016, and Bernie Sanders declined. And the party's kind of, it seems from the outside, with due respect to people within the People's Party, and I've been involved with third party activism, it seems kind of dysfunctional. Third parties are dysfunctional as a general rule. That includes the Green Party too. Even includes those who are libertarians. I mean, third parties in general are filled up with eccentric cranks. I mean, the Reform Party. I met plenty of them in the 1990s, and I was not a member, but I could tell there was some dysfunctionality even with them. Natural Law Party, all these folks. And I've been involved with the New Party, the Labor Party, the Socialist Party USA, the Green Party. So I have a history of third party activism, along with, unfortunately, voting for the Democrats at one time on 100% partisan basis, and then kind of stepped down into more of a a part-time basis, and I am no longer even a part-time Democrat, so those days are over. He's a member of DSA, so and that's I'm kind of mixed on them. I've been a DSA in the past, and I'm a little bit perturbed with them these days, but they do have great activists, and they have great people who are like spokespersons for the organization, such as Dr. West. There was a time that some people in the leadership discouraged creating locals, and there is a little bit of history that I had with one of the previous national directors of the organization. Personal stuff, not personal, but personal as far as trying to create a local, and this person was fighting against me to do so. So hell with it. So anyway, he taught at the university. That is Cornel West. Taught at the taught at the Union of Theological Seminary, Yale, Harvard, Princeton, Dartmouth. He focuses on philosophy, religion, and he's known for his work in political activism and liberation theology and socialism, which scares a lot of people, which it shouldn't. So there is that. Now I'd like to talk about his think about his past as far as when it comes to mainstream politics. One thing I've always liked was the fact that he was a critic of Barack Obama from the left. And, during this time of hope and change and yes, we can, and all this empty gestures. I mean, and honestly, he turned out to be a disappointment to a lot of the left-wing base. And I knew it from day one when Hillary Clinton, who's worse than Obama, basically accused him of being for single-payer health care. He was like, oh, no, I'm not for single-payer health care. I was at one time, but I'm not any longer. I was like, okay, he's going to throw us under the bus. And he did. So he ended up being a Clintonista centrist, like many other, like Biden today and Bill Clinton, previously. So this is what you're going to get from Democrats. You're going to get Republican-like politics from them. So as I said, Barack Obama, basically, I guess he seems like a nice guy. He probably somebody he probably could charm the pants off people in person, but if you don't deliver the goods, then what good is charm? AOC. Anyway, let's see. What else can I say? He was a strong supporter of Bernie Sanders in the year 2016 and in 2020. So and my problem with Bernie is he's great on policy, but he doesn't have a backbone these days. Maybe it's not entirely his fault. Maybe I'm being critical, but I am kind of angry with Bernie these days because he's bending the knee too much. I mean, 2016, he had his back against the wall with Hillary. 2020, he just lets his emotions get in the way because, whatever we may think of Joe Biden, I don't like Joe Biden, but obviously Joe Biden is on a personal level less hateful than Hillary Clinton. I mean, he, and he's like the funny, cranky grandpa, I guess you could say. But again, policy matters. And Joe Biden has failed in policy. And he's made the left look bad. And the only thing that saved the Democrats from a Republican takeover, like a massive takeover of the House, was the Supreme Court overturning Roe versus Wade, which makes things more difficult for the left wing of the Democratic Party because, now they don't have to go and fight for Medicare for all anymore and everything. And they had an opportunity to go and codify this under Obama, and they didn't. So the Democrats would be like, well, you got to go vote for the Democrats or the Republicans are going to go ahead and take away more of your reproductive rights, ladies. And they're going to go and take away the rights of the LGBTQ. And then little by little, as the LGBTQ rights are taken away and the Democrats do nothing about it when they come back into power. This is how the Democrats operate. And they do this and hold it as a carrot over the left-wing base and those who are disenfranchised. Well, to some degree, the Republicans have done that too with the abortion issue. When I bet you that some of these pro-life activists are pissed that Roe versus Wade was overturned. I promise you, a lot of pro-life activists who are like, we're there to go and protect the unborn, who don't give a damn about the unborn once they're born. But apparently, when they're in the fetus, they must be protected. So, the thing about it is that both parties do this. I mean, it's part of the little culture war, a tango that they like to do. So, Cornel West is announced he's running for president, and I think that he is the candidate that we need right now. He is the candidate we need. Again, he's got a campaign on economic issues, basically, to refurbish the New Deal that needed to be brought back and expanded. Jobs for all, things of that nature. Single payer health care, which there was a time when Democrats were a little bit more decent on that issue. Some of them were a little bit louder about it, even louder than AOC and Bernie today, once upon a time. He's going to go and fight for these issues. And, somebody was like, well, he can't be president if he's running as a third party. Well, maybe he can go and basically scare the hell out of Biden. And listen, if he's a spoiler, this is all I got to say. I don't care. I don't care if he's a spoiler because the Democrats are Republican light, and they'll fuck us over anyway. So if you're one of those that thinks, oh my God, my friend's going to be mad at me if I go and vote third party, and my goodness, does a Republican win? I mean, I understand that, but you know what? That thinking just forces Democrats to take a turn to the center, and the more to the center the Democrats go, the further right the Republicans go, and then the further right Republicans go, the further right the Democrats go. That's got to stop. Robert Kennedy Jr. and Marianne Williamson. What's my problems with those two candidates? I like them on a personal level. I never met them, but I mean, they're likable. And they're both to the left of Joe Biden, which is a good thing. But the number one problem with Robert Kennedy and the number one problem with Marianne Williamson is that they're going to work and try to fight the good fight inside the Democratic Party. We've seen what happened to Bernie Sanders in 2016, 2020. We've seen what happened to Tulsi Gabbard in 2020, when Tulsi Gabbard was a little more based. We've seen what happened in those two election cycles, in primary election cycles. So, I wish that they, and honestly, look, it's happening again with the no debates. The Democratic Party's not going to have any debates because Joe Biden's on top of the ticket. You know how authoritarian that looks to not just Republicans, but centrists and moderates out there, that there's not going to be a debate. It makes, and even though the Republicans are more authoritarian than the Democrats, that's a general rule, it makes the Democratic Party look authoritarian to do this. So, and I'm going to be doing a live stream on Saturday about that with regard to what I call forces of debate. My suggestion, if they want to really work inside the Democratic Party, I still think they need to work outside. So there is that. What's wrong with Robert Kennedy? What's right about Robert Kennedy, or what do I like about Robert Kennedy? Let's start with that. Okay, I like Robert Kennedy, the fact that he's anti-war, and the Democratic Party needs an anti-war platform. Marianne Williamson lacks, she's terrible on foreign policy. She's not as interventionist as Joe Biden, but she's too interventionist for my liking. So I'm basically giving you a comparison contrast with both candidates on some major issues. Another issue that's a problem with Robert Kennedy is that he's a little bit too all over the place and wishy-washy when the subject of what to do about healthcare, Medicare for all. He's kind of wishy-washy and all over the place. And we don't need wishy-washy all over the place. That's too Democratic Party oriented. Now, Marianne Williamson's better on the issue. She's for Medicare for all. So that she's got that going for him. He doesn't. Julian Assange. Robert Kennedy said, I will pardon Julian Assange at the first opportunity. I am going to assume that she's pro-Julian Assange, Marianne Williamson. I just don't see her being anti-Julian Assange, but I have not heard her talking about it, so I don't want to say something and basically be wrong about it. But my safe assumption would be that she's pro-Julian Assange. They both sort of represent a vision of the Democratic Party and a vision of liberalism and the left that's against cancel culture and political correctness, that's unfortunately streaming to the modern left like a cancer. That's the problem I have with the left today. I would never leave the left because I am a leftist. There's nothing that the right offers. When they say they're for free speech and against cancel culture, they're lying. So I can't go to them. And even if I did, like Dave Rubin did years ago, as soon as I come up with some of my ideas, they're going to tell me to fuck off. So the right's not even in the projection radar for me. So there is that. And Marianne Williamson and Robert Kennedy, they're against cancel culture. All the good things I'm mentioning, record-wise, Cornel West is better, is actually good on all these issues. He's anti-war, he's pro-Medicare for all, and pro-Julian Assange. So this is what we got so far. I'm kind of comparing the three candidates maybe in that regard. Robert Kennedy and Cornel West questions a lot of aspects of the military-industrial complex. And Marianne Williamson, it's not really a responsive answer. I'm not saying she would basically fall prey to their influence, but those are things I like to know. Now, when it comes to Israel, Marianne Williamson and Robert Kennedy are too hardcore of a Zionist for my take. I mean, if you want to talk about two-state solution, you really want to talk about the plight of the Palestinians, and do it in a way that does not offend the Jewish community, that's fine. However, you need to talk about the plight of the Palestinian people. And Cornel West will talk about the plight of the Palestinian people. I mean, maybe their positions are better than would be Joe Biden's or any Republicans. The anti-Semitic Republicans who are Christian Zionists but hate Jews, those types, and those who support the Palestinians, as a general rule, it's the reverse. They are against anti-Semitism, but see that the creation of Israel was a mistake in the area. Putting it in Palestine was a mistake. You're going to have a Jewish state. It should have been done in Central Europe after World War II. That's my take on it. And just want to have a peace outcome out of this. But this hawkish attitude and this apologetic gymnastics that the Washington Consensus goes through out of fear of being called anti-Semitic needs to go, because it's not anti-Semitic to criticize Israel. So that's a problem I had with Marianne Williamson and Robert Kennedy. And Cornel West is going to be good on that issue. And in no way, shape, or form do I think that he wants innocent Israelis to perish and all of that. So there is that as well. So I'm basically giving you my takes on all the candidates and everything. And so when it comes right down to it, Cornel West has to be the candidate for president. He has to be the candidate. And as far as the People's Party is concerned, the People's Party. I'm okay with the People's Party, but I just wish that they had a better infrastructure. There's no reason why the People's Party and the Green Party couldn't work together. And as far as I'm concerned, or the California Peace and Freedom Party, or various other left-wing parties that may exist throughout the country, to kind of do like a network together to go and make sure that there is a third-party choice on the ballot. Like in South Carolina, you could do the Labor Party. Labor Party's on the ballot in South Carolina, for example. You have the Peace and Freedom California. You had, even though I had some problems with them when I was in SPUSA, I'm okay with them now. The Liberty Union Party in Vermont, the Mountain Party of West Virginia. So you have various statewide parties across the country that you can work with, and People's Party and the Green Party. You can kind of work in a network to make sure that he can get on the ballot in hopefully all 50 states. We can hope. So anyway, basically that's what I have to say. And I hope to see his campaign do well, Cornel West. And so I will leave all the information down very, very soon. And as soon as I get off the here offline and all that. So that's my take, folks. So we have here on the chat line. The one good thing about it is on the chat line, I responded earlier and I misspelled some words, and I get embarrassed when I do that. So that's probably the one good thing that happened. So when the computer. So anyway, hey, Miguel, how are you doing? Let's see here. Cable is back. That's correct. All right. And I'm glad everything's good. Let's see. Glad you didn't vote for Hillary in 2016 and Biden in 2020. I sure as hell would never. Oh, Hillary Clinton. The more I find out about Hillary Clinton, the more I hate her. What she did to Libya, things of that nature, it just pisses me off. Let's see. Dem exit. Absolutely. Let's see. Who hasn't been a victim of the Democratic Party? You're right about that. Or the Republicans. They're both horrible. They really are. Yeah, it can be personal at times. Yes, it can be. Yeah. Obama sucks. See, they're all puppets, and they all are. I mean, corporate dollars kind of power the military industrial complex, that sort of thing. It is just too problematic. Let's see here. AOC, no sorry. She's pretty to look at. I'll give her that, but that's about it. But she sucks. Let's see. Biden's the worst. What you talking about? No, George W. Bush gets the prize for being the worst. I will argue that George W. Bush is the reason we ended up with Donald Trump and ended up with Joe Biden. Let's see. I support your support for Cornel West. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see. Choose the heretics. Choose Carnation Revolution now. How are you doing, my friend? Hey, what's up? I was just uploading about the fires and the air quality and the radar shit. Hey, oh my. Yeah. Let's see. Stop it, Willie. Cornel West is full of shit. It must be way, way close to Cardinal Dolan, or he. Oh, wow. Come on now. Let's don't go there. Let's see here. Let's see. But Choosy Heretics, I will be doing. I'm going to put the Carnation Revolution video on a back burner because it's after April. I hate what happened about a month ago. In the middle of the streaming of that, but I will have something before April 25th next year. Hopefully I'll be going to Portugal to celebrate it. So there you go. Now it's proven that I was right about calling them out, Stooges, West and Chomsky and Hedges. I don't know. Hey, my God, I love you guys, but best friends, don't let friends be confused. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. And I'm going to be logging off very shortly. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay. Listen, folks, real quick before I log out, quick announcement. I'm going to try to get 2 videos up before 6 a.m. I'm going to try to do that. If I don't, because I'm sleepy. And around noon, I'll be interviewing Thomas Sulbury from Tommy Nation Politics in commemoration of LGBT Pride Month. I'm interviewing people from the LGBTQ community. So I'm doing that once a week during the month of June. And that's my new thing to do on this program each month, where there's something to focus on the left and progressive side. I'm going to focus on those issues, or try to. So look forward to that. And basically, let's see what else I have to say. Yeah, if you like what you heard, press like and comment. Comment anyway. If you disagree with what I have to say, comment anyway. We'll have a conversation. Feel free to share the contents on this channel. As the First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Also, follow me on YouTube. Just go ahead and subscribe on YouTube. Hit the notification bell. Do the same thing on Twitch, on Rumble. I'm going to be streaming on Rumble. I promise one of these days. What else? Follow me on Twitter and Facebook. You know the deal. I might even go back to MySpace. Woohoo! And until next time, I'm Willy Bragg. Reject corporate media. Always reject it. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.